Well, we're back, and it's that time again. Time for a Sunday Hope and Healing session. And what we're doing today, what we're focusing on today, is clearing out old block stagnated energy to make room for new blessings. Could you use some new blessings in your life? Would you like to see some things unfolding in your life in a different way, perhaps a new way than they have previously? Is there any area in your life where you might feel stuck, or where there may be some stagnation? Are you dealing with any sense of restlessness, or even in your body temple, dealing with physical stiffness in your body, or perhaps constipation? Are there some things that you're wanting to see unfold in your life, and you seem to be hitting like a ceiling, like a glass ceiling that you can't seem to get beyond? Well, any of these things will be the function of there being space, or there being room for you to make space, clear some things up so that new blessings and new things may begin to flow. All right. And so let me say this, that there isn't really anything that you can want that is not already yours. Now I'm talking about in your heart of hearts. All of the blessings are available for you. It is a question of whether or not you are available for those blessings. I want to say that again. All of the blessings are available for you. I'll include myself in that too, for me. All of the blessings are available to us. The question, Curly Conscious King and everybody else, is whether you are available to the blessings. Okay. I want to put that a little bit differently. All of the blessings, the love, the prosperity, the health, the joy, the peace, the freedom, all of those things are already in you. They're not outside of you. They're already in you. And sometimes we're fighting for new and improved things in our life to unfold. And yet the real struggle, the real challenge, the real thing that we need to overcome is the aspect within ourselves that is keeping us blocked. Nobody else can block your blessing. Let me say that one more time. Nobody else can block your blessing. Nobody has the power to block your blessing unless you give them the power to block your blessing. And even then, they're not the ones blocking your blessing. You're the one blocking your blessing. Now, I'm not saying this to ridicule anybody. That's not the point. What I am sharing this for is to encourage all of us to stand and dwell in a state of confidence in terms of the authority that we actually possess, in terms of the power that we actually have, that we can tap into for the things that we want to see unfolding in our lives to be able to unfold in our lives. And so all of the good, all of the joy, all of the things that we could want, all of those good things and wonderful things are already a part of us. We're not separate from that which we want, from that which we desire, from that which supports our highest and best good, for that which gives us access to experience full expression of who it is that we truly are. All these things are inside of us. They're inside of us, right? Now, there are some other things that are inside of us too. There may be some animosity. There may be some resentment. There may be some feelings of irritation. There may be some fear. There may be some anxiety. There may be some things that are there, inside also. And so what our focus on today is on clearing some of these things out to make room for the blessings to flow in your life, for new level of blessings, maybe an upgrade to the blessings that you already have. And that blessing may come in the form of improved health. It may come in the form of improved relationship that you already have with somebody. It may come in the form of attracting new relationships into your life that support where it is that you want to be at this juncture in your life and on your journey. It may be in the form of new doors of opportunity opening up. It could be in a lot of different ways. It could be in terms of you feeling deeply connected to your true self, deeply connected to the cosmos as a whole, deeply in touch with God and that relationship. There are all sorts of things that are inside of you, endeavoring to make their way into your lived experience. Okay. All of these things exist within our own energetic structure, with our own energy field. And we all have an energy field. In fact, we don't just have an energy field, we are a field of energy. Okay. Energy, that thing that can neither be created nor destroyed, but only change in form. Okay. We're all living and moving and breathing fields of energy, vibrating. Good day to you as well. Vibrating at a certain frequency. And the things that are also vibrating along the same frequency are things that we draw forth into our lives. Whether that is that which makes you or contributes to your happiness and your joy, or that which contributes to your frustration, anger, disappointment, and all of those things. Michelle Childs, it is good to see you in this space this morning today, dear sister. Okay. All right. And so all of us have just waiting to pour into our lives a bountiful measure of good. Okay. Bountiful, bright blessings that are seeking to shower upon us so that we can soak and saturate in an ever-flowing stream of good, an ever-flowing stream of blessings. There's some things that keep us from experiencing them. Okay. Sometimes there's some blockages that are there that keep us from being able to experience it. Kind of like if you think of a water hose, and if the water hose if there's a kink in the line, it may keep the water from getting through, right? Or if you bend it and keep the water from getting through. All right. There could also be a situation where there may be something obstructing obstructing the flow. Okay. There was a situation recently where there was a plumber that was needed because there was something that had gotten in the line. Okay. And the water wasn't going down. And so a plumber had to be called to clear the situation up. So that blockage, what it was that was there in the line, could be removed so that the water could flow. And in a similar way, do we want the blessings to flow in our lives? We want to be in a state of continuous flow, in a flow state where we're in a zone where continuously wonderful things are flowing into our lives and flowing through us into the lives of other people as well. Okay. So I feel like I've done a fair amount of talking. Who'd like to actually get into the healing? It's one thing for me to sit here and talk and share this stuff. But it's another thing altogether to do the work that actually helps to clear space, to make room for new good to unfold and manifest in our lives. Okay. And so if you know of somebody who, could stand to have some new blessings or wants to have some new blessings unfolding in their lives, I encourage you to share this with them. Whether you're sharing this in a Facebook group, whether you're sharing it in whatever other form of social media, or whether you're sending a text message to somebody, I invite you to share it with them as an expression of your love for them. And so to all of you, I wish you peace and love as we get ready to get started with this healing today. So I'm going to start with a prayer. And if you want to be a part of this healing, then I encourage you to state your name at the appropriate time. So God, I know you to be a healer. I know you to be the source of all that is good. And I know that there are so many blessings that you have in store for all of us. I also know, God, that sometimes we feel and experience some blockages, or we might feel stuck or stagnated. Or we might feel frustrated, just wanting to get to a new level and don't necessarily know how. Or we try all of these different things and they just don't seem to be working. Or we may even have feelings of unworthiness that close us off from being able to receive the good that you want to pour into our lives. And so on this date and in this time and space called now, I give great thanks for the blessing of being able to bear witness to you as a healer, and being able to bear witness to your people as you being a healer. And through the union that we share, through the power of your Holy Spirit and your pure love, I call forth your healing on the behalf of everybody who's stating their name right now, whether out loud or silent. To neutralize and clear out the root cause of all stagnation, of all debris within our energetic fields, of all blockages within our body temple, within our mind, within our thought process. From the point of the causal root in the entire energy field of every strand of DNA, in every cell of our bodies, every string particle of our existence, and transmuting that into and replacing it with flowing in a steady, continuous, abundant stream of incalculable good flowing in our lives, bringing us to new levels of fulfillment, experiencing new and exciting blessings that we can feel good about, that we celebrate, that we feel overjoyed regarding, and that we are able to actually be a space where we're so bountifully and abundantly blessed that our cups fill up to the point of running over, and new blessings spill over into the lives of everybody we come in contact with. And I bear witness to this truth as our reality, as I bear witness to our wholeness on this date and in this time and space called now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this gift of your divine love. It is done. It is done. It is done. All right. Okay. Let's get busy with it here. All right. Greetings, Reverend Shirley. Good to see you in the space today. Okay. Reverend Shirley, I heard your voicemail message. It was a little late to respond. But please have her reach out to me if you would. It's better that the person who is desirous of the healing or in need of the healing take the step in reaching out. So please, I'd encourage you to have her reach out to me. Okay. All right. So let's get into this healing. Let's get into this healing. And so let's start with something that comes up a lot that I like to look at starting with is feelings of unworthiness. So let's begin to clear out those feelings of unworthiness. But guess what? The feelings of unworthiness didn't just appear on their own. Feelings of unworthiness are attached to something. They're attached to a time in our lives where something happened that ended up feeding into a sense of unworthiness. There is no good that you are unworthy of. Now, there is good you may not be ready for, but there is no good that you're unworthy of. Okay. And so let's address these things that may have helped to stimulate or engender a sense of unworthiness. Let's start with things that you may have heard in early childhood. Okay. And I want you to think about things that may have kind of rubbed you the wrong way or made you not necessarily feel the greatest about yourself that you heard in early childhood. It could have been from parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, teachers, older siblings, kids in the neighborhood, kids at school, anything that may have stimulated within you somehow feeling less than, somehow feeling inadequate. Okay. All right. So I want you to become present to that. And then I want to invite you to call forth and welcome in the light of God's love into that place in your life, into that time in your life, into that place in your life. People say and do all sorts of things, but that doesn't change the truth of who it is that you are. Okay. Okay. Michelle, feel free to have her send me or him send me a direct message on Facebook or Instagram, like Royce Fletcher Thomason. Okay. All right. So I want to look at, I'm just going to do a general healing. Again, I want you to be specific in terms of whatever happened in your life and welcome the light of God's love into that place in your life. And in general, I'm going to kind of address the body as a whole. Okay. And I'm looking at 227 different things. And so we want to call forth each of those things being purified to the power of God's pure love and divine light, where it's being washed, purified, transmuted into blessings of good. There's a scripture in the Bible that talks about God making your enemy your footstool. Okay. And a lot of times we think of the enemy as something outside of us. We might think of the enemy as something that's blocking our blessings. And yes, the enemy is blocking your blessing, but don't think of the enemy as something outside of you. If you can reconcile that the enemy exists within you, within your own thought processes, within your own mind, within your own heart, okay, then you can transmute those aspects that are existing within you, endeavoring to stand in the way of your blessings and climb above them, making your enemy your step stool, transmuting those experiences of darkness into experiences of light. Mm. Yes. All right. That's some serious, authentic empowerment there. Okay. All right. So want to strengthen us in terms of being able to tap into our innate spiritual authority, to be able to tap into spiritual authority, to transcend that which has been a stumbling block or a hindrance. I said stumbling block. We talked about blocks earlier, or blockages. Okay. And so we want to actually shine a ray of light so potently powerful that it dissolves, like a laser. You can take a laser, a high powered laser, which is just light that's concentrated so much that it can cut things away, that it can make things dissolve. Versandra, good to see you in the space today, sister. All right. So we want to take a potent, pure light of God, the divine light of God, and shine it in those areas where there's some blockages, so those things can be deleted, dissolved. Okay. Clearing those blockages out so that there can be a clear flow of energy. And your birthright is that pure divine light. Your birthright is that pure divine love. It's who, at your essence and at your core, who you really are. Okay. And so let's address this thing. It's coming up as like false memories. All right. And what I mean by false memories, not simply that you remember something different than how it actually happened, but remembering things that just aren't true. Okay. And so we want to delete these false memories. Okay. We want to delete we want to delete our memories of the things that were said about us that were not true. We want to delete the memories of the things that we said about ourselves that weren't true. We want to delete the memories that exist within the collective consciousness of humanity that aren't true about you. Okay. These are things that could have been said, could have been spoken, they could have been written, they could have been advertised on social media. They could have been things that were not spoken or articulated in writing. They could be things that just exist on a mental level. Okay, so we want to clear those things out. I'm going to clear those things out. All right. And we want to replace those memories with the memory of what is true. The memory of what is true about you. It is factual that you have made some mistakes. It is factual that some things have been experienced in your life that didn't feel good to you. Those things are factual. But what is true is that you are loved in a way that you may not yet have the capacity to recognize. That's what I actually meant to name this. Or what I really want to kind of focus on is increasing our capacity for new blessings. Increasing our capacity for new blessings. All right. Okay. Sometimes there are things that we say that we want. There are things that we complain about not having. There are things that we fuss about. There are things that we, that we kind of go over in our minds that, okay, it's good to see you. I was thinking about you the other day. Good to have you back. things that we say that we want to unfold in our lives, but when we have the opportunity to do something about it, we don't, for whatever reason. When we have the opportunity to take a step that's going to bring us in the direction of that which it is we want, sometimes we don't take advantage of it. Sometimes people can offer us something and we turn it down, but it's the very thing that we've been saying that we wanted. And that's because we don't yet have the capacity for it. So want to expand our capacity to receive. Expand our capacity to receive that which is for our good. Expand our capacity for joy. Expand our capacity for peace. And expand our capacity for love. And expand our capacity for good health. Want to expand our capacity for wealth. In whatever form you might want to see that show up. Whether it be in relationships, in finances, in wisdom. Yeah. Let's expand our capacity for wisdom. Let's expand our capacity for healing. Expand our capacity for understanding. And where it is appropriate for us to first seek to understand and then to be understood, let us increase our capacity to understand, and let us increase our capacity to be understood, to be and feel understood. Let's expand our capacity to feel heard. Let's expand our capacity to feel accepted. Let's expand our capacity to feel valued. Yeah, let's boost that up. To infinity and beyond. Let's expand our capacity to value, to recognize what's truly valuable. And to align with what we value. And let's transcend our thinking, elevate our thinking, so that what we value is what God values. All right. Okay. Ooh, feeling some stuff moving around. And by the way, in terms of stagnated, blocked energy, in terms of, I want to address the energy, the space that we might dwell in terms of our living space. Any stagnated energy within our living space, where there may be, some clutter, that make space to clear out some of that clutter for energy to flow more freely. And I'm talking about physical clutter right now. In terms of the air, in terms of where the air may be kind of stagnant and maybe a little stale, to get that air circulating. right? In terms of your own physical body, circulation of your blood, and for the oxygen, for your blood to be fully oxygenated, and for that oxygen to be circulating throughout the entirety of your body. Want to focus on a space where there may be a blockage, 2 inches above the base of the spine. Want to clear that out. Breaking down those blockages into quantum particles and transmuting them into photons of light. And create an easy breezy feeling. All right. All right. Want to actually address the intestines right now. Okay. And in terms of the intestines, I want to address a fear of letting go. Okay. Sometimes we have blockages of things that is just a waste for us to hold on to, literally. And so it's no longer serving us. And so we clear out those blockages to make room for that which would serve. Okay. Okay. And want to optimize the element of water. The nature of water is to flow. So want to actually, a lot of sickness and disease, dis-ease is tied to dehydration. Constipation is tied to dehydration. We want the intestines themselves to be well hydrated. We want the lining of the intestines to be well hydrated. So we want to optimize the element of water within the large and the small intestines and the intestinal lining. As well as within the canals of the intestines themselves. Okay. Now, I mentioned about the element of water. The nature of water is to flow. Such is also the case with emotions. They mean energy and motion. So I want to look at any blocked or stagnated emotions. Things that you might have tucked down deep inside, that you might have buried, that you might have ignored, that you might have, just kind of masked with other things that you've tried to self-medicate with. So rather than the self-medicating so that you don't feel the emotions, whatever those emotions might be, let's let them flow out. And they don't have to flow out explosively, but they can flow out of your energetic field in such a way as that they're not creating blockages anymore. Okay. So I'm going to transmute that, purify that to the power of pure love and divine light. Thank you, God. Okay. All right. And so I also want to take a look at attachment to the past. Okay. And this attachment to the past can go in a couple different ways. We can have attachment to the past as it relates to a good thing that was in the past that were kind of stuck in a previous time. Okay. And we might consider the good old days, or it could be stuck in the past in terms of something maybe traumatic or painful that happened that we haven't been able to move forward from. Either one of those can stand in the way of us actually making room for new blessings to unfold for us. Okay, so we want to clear that out. We want to clear out that attachment to the past. You know, there's a teaching that says that the past never happened. Now, that can be something that's difficult psychologically for a lot of people to accept. Okay. Especially if we're wanting to hold on to whatever happened in the so-called past. Wanting to hold on to the slight. Wanting to hold on to the animosity, the bitterness, the resentment. Wanting to hold on to the feeling of victimhood. Let's clear out that feeling of victimhood and help us to feel safe even not being a victim, because there is a certain level on which we experience being a victim as a benefit. And I know that might sound strange. I'm not saying this to be callous at all, but there are times where we tell our stories and we get people to feel sorry for us, and that's the way we get attention. Okay. I'm not saying don't allow yourself to utilize the benefit of a safe space where you can kind of unpack some things that have been painful for you and that have been difficult to deal with. That's not what I'm talking about at all. What I am getting at is sometimes the attachment to the experience of victimhood keeps us bound in the state of victimhood. It keeps us from being able to move forward. And if we're stuck in that state, you can't, it's a scientific law that two different things cannot occupy the same space at the same time. And so you can't simultaneously dwell in feeling defeated and feel victorious. It just doesn't work that way. All right. And so if you want to feel victorious, let's clear space to feel victorious, to feel light, to feel lighthearted, to feel joyous, to feel blessed, to feel free. To feel free. Let's increase that freedom, that feeling of freedom, feeling free. I am not a woman and I've never worn a bra. But I do know women, and I do know that I have heard more than one woman talk about the feeling of getting home and removing that bra and the feeling of freedom that comes with it, right? That's not a specific thing that I know experientially. And while I'm living in Florida, where it's 80 degrees right now, for which I'm very thankful, I have compassion for those who are in cold states where there's a whole lot of white stuff falling from the sky right now, or it's just cold in general. But I'm from a cold place. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I know something about the cold. And as I've matured in life, I've come to value the benefit of thermal underwear. And I have some long johns, thinking particularly about one long john shirt in particular that fits very, very snugly. It's a tight fit. And there's benefit in the tight fit in terms of it clinging to my skin and keeping cold air from getting in. It helping to insulate my body temperature. Okay. But it sure has felt good to get home and to take that thing off. It feels like what a sweet relief. It feels freedom from, as opposed to feeling really constricted. There are times where I might have socks on that might feel a certain way. And I get those socks off and it's like, oh, what a feeling of freedom. And so I want to strengthen us all. And I'm just using those as illustrations. I want to strengthen us all to be able to take off whatever grave clothes we've been wearing. The things that keep us from being and feeling completely alive, that have been constricting us from feeling fully ourselves and feeling fully free and from feeling fully self-expressed, to be able to take those things off and enjoy the sweet relief that comes with that. Okay, I want to strengthen us all for that and strengthen our resonance with the joy of feeling free. All right. And to be able to get used to that feeling, where it feels quite at home for us. It doesn't feel unfamiliar, where it feels at home and we feel safe and comfortable with it. Okay. All right. So now let's deal with attuning our hearts and our minds to the flow of good. Okay. Helping our hearts and our minds tune into the frequency of good. Tune into the frequency of blessings. You know what? I don't listen to the radio anymore, not regular commercial radio anymore. I haven't for a while. I haven't since I've lived in Florida. I have enough music of my own that I listen to or listen on through some other music service as opposed to commercial radio. Although I do have Sirius XM in my car, and I will occasionally listen to that. Well, guess what? If I turn on to the real jazz station, guess what? I'm not going to hear the station that's playing the Motown music. If I tune in to the station that plays the Motown music, I'm not going to hear the hip hop music. If I tune in to the station that plays the classical music, I'm not going to hear the rock and roll. You see where I'm going with this, right? I'm only going to receive the signal that is in alignment with the frequency that I'm tuned into. So if I tune in to the hip hop station, I hear hip hop. If I tune in to the electronic dance music station, I hear electronic dance music. If I tune in to the smooth jazz station, I hear smooth jazz. If I tune in to the country and western station, I hear country and western. If I tune in to Kirk Franklin's praise, I hear gospel music. Okay. I'm going to receive, I'm going to participate with that which according to the frequency that I'm tuned into. So I want to strengthen all of us to be able to tune into the frequency of that which brings our soul's delight. Oh, yes. Tune into the frequency of that which brings our soul's delight. What delights your soul might not be the same thing that delights my soul. But for each of us to be able to tune into the frequency of what delights our soul. I'm not just talking about music right now. And in a way I am. Because we're all existing. You know, the word universe means one song. And we are all experiencing this great and grand cosmic concerto. And so when we are free, when we're attuned, when we're aligned, we get to participate in what I refer to as the poetry of the Lord, what many people refer to as synchronicities, divinely orchestrated events. Divinely orchestrated events. It's speaking to music. All right. Now I'm a music lover. As a matter of fact, I'm so much of a music lover that an hour after this session ends, we're going to have an afterglow. Curly Conscious King, are you here? We're going to do an afterglow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That's a musical afterglow. All right. Okay, now I want to, and we'll just do a couple more and we'll close it down for today. I want to actually just kind of wash off all of the sludge and the dirt and the slime that we've kind of accumulated walking through the jungles of life. Okay. Just kind of get a nice little washing and cleansing of our auric field, of our energy field. Okay. So those things can be just washed away, cleansed and purified, washed away. Like having a nice shower, a nice bath, where you just feel fresh and clean. Okay. Or our energy field is fresh and clean, fresh and clean and crisp. Okay. Or we're feeling refreshed, renewed, revitalized. Feeling like a new and improved version of ourselves. Yes. Okay. Now, I'm going to do one more thing and then we'll get ready to close it out for today. And this last thing that I want to do, and we're going to participate in this together. All right. So I want you to, if you're able to at the moment, now I realize some people it may not be feasible, but if you're able to at the moment, I want to invite you to just close your eyes for a moment. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine just a nice, gentle shower. And in the shower, the cleansing waters are present, but the blessings are also present, pleasant and present. And as you're imagining yourself, just allowing this shower to pour upon you, the waters of the shower to pour upon you. I want you to see, and you may envision it as just a word, you may envision it as the actual thing itself. I want you to envision yourself being showered with whatever it is that would bring your soul's delight. You may want to see yourself showered with love. You may want to imagine the word love as droplets of water showering upon you. You may want to see it as just soaking into your body and absorbing into you, covering your entire skin. You may want to see it as just hanging out in your auric field. You may want to see it just like light pouring inside of your body. You may imagine new financial blessings, maybe a new job, a new relationship, or improved relationships with the people who are presently in your life. Maybe a specific person that you'd like to have an improved relationship, maybe a sibling, maybe a spouse, maybe a coworker. To see that unfolding joyfully into your life, coming freely into your field and into your life. It may be a miracle in terms of seeing someone that you care about's life turned around. It may be a miracle in terms of your own heart getting lighter. Whatever it is that brings your soul's delight, allow yourself to see yourself being showered with. And from this place we pray. God, thank you so much for showing up for us. The truth is that you're always here. You've never left. You've never left. You've always been here. You've always been here for us. Even when we weren't available for the blessing that your presence offered. Thank you for clearing out space and making room for us to experience blessings anew, new blessings, new opportunities, new good, for increasing our capacity to receive, for allowing the flow of bountiful, bright blessings to pour into our lives, and also to pour from us into the lives of others. The richest people aren't those who have the most. The richest people are the ones who are able to give the most. And so we thank you for increasing our capacity to receive, or increasing our capacity to give, and to be a bestower of upgraded levels of blessings. Thank you for so many things that our imagination can just run wild playing with, participating in, even right now, in this now moment. And thankful for those things, these wonderful things that are to come. Thank you so much for these and all other blessings. And for this, we give great thanks and honor you with our gratitude. Ashe and amen. All right, beloved, as always, it has been a joy hanging out with you today. I am thankful that we got to be present with one another in this clearing, this healing, to clear our energy field and make room, increase our capacity for new blessings. And I pray that continued blessings flow in your life as we together endeavor to enter into a sustainable state of supreme satisfaction. If you are not already subscribed to the Matrix Healing channel on YouTube, Matrix Healing is just one word. I encourage you to do so, and to click the notification bell so that you can be made aware whenever we're going live or wherever we're posting content. The only kind of content that we post is that which is designed and intended to help make your life better in some way, to bring more positive vibrations into your life experience, okay, and to hopefully in some way help to make this world a better place for all of us, okay? All right, and so as we get ready to close out today, again, continuing to enter into that sustainable state of supreme satisfaction, I read verse Sandra says, the richest people are not the ones who have the most. The richest people are the ones with the most, who have the most to give. Yes, 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 yes. I'm glad that spoke to you, Versandra. Alita, and and Cass, many blessings to you as well, Reverend Shirley. And everybody else who's been with us, Curly Conscious King, and everybody else who's out there checking us out today. Until we meet again, I bid you adieu with peace and love. I'll catch you next time.